Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back to my channel. I'm excited about this video. Of course, it's going to be on GNU Radio, and I think this is probably the easiest and the simplest way to design an amplitude modulated system. Let me say it again. This is probably the easiest way you can design an amplitude modulated system, and I'm going to walk you through the flow graph, which is there right in front of you. So the idea is basically this: every time you're modulating something, you have built-in modulators which are available in GNU Radio, but at the same time you can also think of modulation as being a multiplication process, and this is exactly what we're doing here. So for example, I have taken a signal source that is cosine, and that has a frequency, center frequency. Center frequency is controlled by a GUI range slider that has a frequency range from 0 to 16 kilohertz. That is being controlled by this carrier frequency. You can change that using a range slider. Now, the second thing is you got to have your baseband frequency or your information signal or your baseband signal or your modulating signal. This modulating signal is actually controlled by a variable called baseband frequency variable, which is going from 0 to 200 hertz, and the default frequency that I have set is actually 40 hertz. And same thing, this baseband amplitude is actually being controlled by this range slider, which is going from 0 to 2, and the minimum is 500 millivolts or whatever units are there, and step size is about 10 milli. So this is being controlled by this slider, the amplitude. And by changing the amplitude, I can change the carrier signal. By changing the amplitude, it will change the carrier signal. That's the idea behind amplitude modulated signal. You gotta have a throttle block. Definitely you gotta have a throttle block, since you're not visualizing anything. You're not connecting any hardware to your flow graph. That's why you got to have a throttle block. And basically what we're doing, we're actually multiplying both of these signals. As you can see, this is the carrier signal, which is going into a multiplier. Then you have a modulating or a baseband signal that is going into a multiplier. And I am also individually seeing these signals as well. So I'm just looking at the carrier signal as well, and my modulating signal as well, or baseband signal as well, and the modulated output. So I'm seeing 3 time sync graphs. You know what? I can also include a frequency sync graph as well. By going into a slider, you can just simply have a frequency slider here. I think it's already here. Let me just make it smaller. So let's just look at the output of my modulated signal as well. So having that said, and then I have a label. Basically, I'm labeling it. It's actually baseband amplitude divided by 1 times 10. So it's basically giving you that modulation depth. All right. So once I have everything set, let me just run the flow graph and you will see the result. So when I look at this graph, here we go. So this is exactly what we're supposed to see, and this is what we're seeing right now. We have our carrier signal that is 1 kilohertz, and then I have my baseband signal, which is around 40 hertz, and then you have baseband amplitude. Baseband amplitude basically is controlling the modulation depth. So for example, if I have this thing to be 0.5, this label block, that is basically this block, is actually this. And this is the GUI range slider for your frequency, for your carrier frequency, and for your baseband amplitude. So this is about 50 hertz. This is exactly what you expect to see, because this is your carrier signal. This is your carrier signal, and your baseband signal is this, which is actually changing the modulated output. And this is the modulated output that you're seeing. The modulated output is in green. So let's look at the modulated output. All right, this is what I would expect to see, a modulated amplitude modulated signal. So let me turn on both of these signals. These signals are turned on and off because all of these signals are connected to your time sync graph, time sync instrumentation block. And by just moving a frequency a little bit, now you can also see the modulated output in terms of your frequency domain as well, right here. But you can hardly tell them apart. Why? Because the frequency is very far I mean, because the frequencies, baseband frequency is very small. 1000 plus 40 is not making a significant difference. So let me just increase the baseband frequency a little bit, and then you can start seeing the gap right here. So let me just go about, let me go about 200 hertz. And now when you look at after 200 hertz, because your baseband frequency is quite small, so if you were to look at it, you would expect to see what, 200. So you have 1 kilohertz plus 200. So let me go around, let me go about 2000. All right. And so when you look at it, so you would expect to see around 2200, because FC plus FM and FC minus FM. And so this is FC minus FM. This is what you would expect to see, 1800, because your modulating frequency is 200 and your carrier signal is 2000 kilo. So 2000 minus 200 is 18. And this is what you're expecting to see here. And this is what you're seeing here. All right, you might, let me just clarify something. Why am I seeing this negative component? Because you get to see this component because of Euler's identity, but you can go to this, go to your frequency sink, and go to your spectrum and spectrum width, and just choose half spectrum. Now what you would see in a spectrum, let me go to my spectrum again, just give me a minute. Let me go here to around 2000. All right. And let me go here about 200. All right. So now you're only seeing the positive part of the frequency. So you are somewhere around 220 or I mean to say 2200 to 2200 hertz and 1800 hertz right here. So you can clearly see this. And by increasing the modulation to 1, let me just change this to 1. You're seeing your signal is being 100% modulated, and you can see that there's hardly any dips here. So you can just zoom in on it right here. So this is actually 0. So this is how you actually do it. This is how you generate your AM modulated signal using GNU Radio. I hope you find this tutorial handy, helpful. If you've liked it, if I earn your subscription, please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching.